Alright, I'm back with another extra content for episode 27 of Ninja Steel. Okay, usually I go to the two guys. I did, and well, the first one, wow, he did it as long as I did because he had a lot to say. I should backtrack because there's more I missed, but I just got the simple part that's actually interesting. It's like, yeah, I didn't talk about it. So anyways, he didn't like the episode, which I agree. The episode was a mixed bag. So here's the interesting part. Brody is new to Earth, or basically he's been on Earth for at least 6 months, or at least kind of a school year. Since he's been here for a whole entire school year, or at least half of it, and he's new to Earth, and you're telling me he has no interest in video games because he's been in space for so many years, and then he's now on Earth for at least a few months, and yeah, we haven't even touched upon anything of where it's like, oh, he gets to enjoy what the cookies are. Like, for instance, that cookie episode. It should have been like, oh, cookie, this is what the cookie is. Oh, it's like, yeah, just whole things that he missed. So many things that they missed when it comes to the writers. But of course, the writers are idiots anyways. But yeah, it's weird how he's the only one. In some way, it is weird that he's the only one who's like, oh, video games, who cares a shit? On the other hand, he should be interested in it because he's been in space for so long. But on the other hand, Brody does have some discipline, I guess. So it's like a 50-50 part of where it's like, yeah, I see what he's talking about. But on the other hand, I can understand why he's not interested in video games. But he does have a point of where it's like, he's been in space for so long. It's weird how he doesn't actually go and just try everything. Yeah, like the Zootopia freaking song that they like. Next is, which he gave me a good idea. The question is, technically what should have happened here is that the person who shouldn't actually be involved with the video game is Sarah. Because Sarah is like, this is technology. It's weird, and it came out of nowhere, and then she starts investigating, figuring out where did this game come from in the first place. So she'll be figuring out where the handheld came from, tracking down where store came from, and then she asks the stores, and the store's like, oh, we don't know, just some person gave it to us and told us to sell it. It's like, that's very, very odd. But of course, when it comes to what I was talking about, the fact that it was Victor and Monty who did it, then it's kind of funny where Victor and Monty's like, oh, well, this lady gave it to us. She's dressed in a suit and stuff. And then she looks for the lady who's dressed in a suit. Eventually she might find them, but of course it's not really like that. But on the other hand, it's like, yeah, then Sarah actually shows that she actually is very, very hesitant to even play the video game, and is cautious because the video game came out of nowhere. It's weird. It's like, yeah, you go online, be like, So, yeah, and he was like, oh, the video game just came out of nowhere. There's no trailer for it. There's no reviews. There's no anything. It's like, that's pretty weird. So that's when she does the thing. The interesting part is that there is no lesson of the day. As you can see, I didn't have to put doom, 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 doom. So that's pretty cool. Thank goodness. I mean, there is a lesson of the day, or at least there's a moral to the story, but no actual lesson of the day where it's like, oh, good Lord, here he comes Mick. Levi, Calvin, and Brody are total idiots, including the monster. So Levi is like, oh, what happened? They just went to the video game, idiot. Calvin, oh, the city is hidden. The city's empty. You went into a video game just 3 seconds ago. Do I have to get Rick over here? Brody, we're in the video game? Like I said in the review, you want me to get Rick. You really want me to get Rick over here, because I can get Rick right now, and he'll basically explain all three of you what the frick happened. And of course the monster's like, oh, you're in my video game. It's like, my gosh. But here's the interesting concept. The interesting concept that he came up with was the fact of the monster is playing. They're playing in his domain. Means that he is total control. he is completely strong. And you can see in an episode that really works, but they don't actually play with it all the way. And I do have to admit, some other crazy part is the fact of how they can morph, how in the world do they have communications outside, and how the frick do they summon Zords. It's like they already did that before in the Halloween episode, but I didn't allow it to actually do anything because it's like, yeah, Cosmo here allows anything to happen, and chances are he was testing them. So he's like, yeah, I'll let you have a fair fight, even though I'm a monster and I should actually not allow you to have a fair fight, but frick it, I'll let you have a fair fight. This one, it's weird. It's like, yeah. So the monster allows them to have a fair fight too in this occasion as well, even though you had them on the ropes. They took you out. Now you're big and you're now going to say, oh yeah, you can have your Megazord too. Go right ahead. It's like, that's pretty weird. So technically the writers kind of screw that part up, but of course, hey, they're stuck with the actual footage, so they have to deal with the footage, and the footage does not agree with them. Of course, make sure you check out my actual review to actually hear exactly what they could have done. Last but not least is foreshadowing, but it's wrecked. Man, there's lots of stuff he had to say, but I would just end it with saying the foreshadowing that is like, oh, interesting, promising that galactic ninjas. And he tried to figure out who would they choose, and if they do choose this one person, oh man, this sucks. That's not good. That's not good at all. But they wrecked it thanks to freaking Cosmo. Now here comes the other guy. It's like, yeah, here's the other guy in my reviewing rounds. He says it wasn't terrible. Say what? And it turns out this is a filler episode and had bright spots to it. More of the story was in it, and it wasn't that preachy. And he said it's a for the handheld. He's like, that was a bad DS system, and it's kind of weird how when it comes to Zabons, they can't actually go online. They can't actually just go to a shop or go to a garage sale or something and buy old DSs slash SPs. He said the props were done very badly. And I kind of agree, but on the other hand, I would just say it's total ripoff because, well, let's say if they bought it for $30, that's a bit of a ripoff, but not too much. But if they had to pay over 50 for it, now that's messed up. So it would have been cool if they had a price tag or something on it. Anyways, the cardboard cutout of Victor, that was pretty cartoony. I actually was okay with it, somewhat okay with it. I was like surprised that they did that. Yeah, it was pretty weird. I would have preferred they actually have done the idea of, remember when they did some, I don't remember, I would say maybe chocolate statue. Maybe they perfected it so that Victor actually, they needed him in, I don't know. I just have to say you could have cut that crap out, period. I said you could have cut that scene out because it's not really needed. So Preston had a moment in the show that was good. Levi was being helpful. That was better than what they did previously with, well, technically Orion. Like he said, what they could have done to destroy the games. Where's the fire alarm? Sprinklers. I already mentioned that. Or just steal the games. Which that would have been better. That would have been cool if instead of doing that whole freaky, oh, that's what happens at level 10, I would have preferred if Levi would have been like, Rah! And just scare people, start stealing their crap, start stealing games, and then run for it. Yeah, they just chase after Levi. That would be kind of cool. That would have been funny. I would have liked that. And again, foreshadowing Galactic Ninjas, and Brody is the only ninja. And he talks about how Levi was trained to be a ninja, but not so much. And I'm like, wait, wasn't Levi the older brother? So technically he would actually have even more time than Brody. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I didn't want to say it in his comments because that's messed up, but yeah, Levi is a little bit more ninja than Brody. I have to admit that part. So when it comes to discipline, it makes sense. But on the other hand, just like I said in the review, I would prefer that Levi was not even involved. That Levi actually has a music career to think about, and that's what he was doing. Was actually outside playing his guitar, waiting for Rangers to come out to train. That makes perfect sense. And when, of course, he's like, okay, it's been 5 minutes, he goes inside and say, hey guys, aren't we supposed to train or what? And he's like, oh, they're gone. And Mickey's like, oh my gosh, I've been absorbed in the game. It's like, yeah, that would have been better. Anyways, that's what I missed. Stay tuned for next week. Hopefully this time around I will maybe have a episode premiere or episode preview review.